things started. Alright.
I be honest, I don't think Kevin Smith was in danger of being sexually abused by Harvey Weinstein.
You know, I'm gonna
I
leave
mean,
that
maybe,
in.
but you never know.
I'm just gonna leave that
I
in.
don't think you could pay someone to sexually abuse Kevin Smith.
You know, I'm just gonna leave all that in. Fuck it. Hello, come back. You probably should turn back now.
I mean, if that conversation didn't get you out, nothing will. So now you're just stuck.
It's true. Fuck. Damn, that cut off all my momentum.
Good.
Alright, so, I guess I'll start with, like, the smaller shit. So, I played through all of, and I've also been playing, I've played through all of Shadow Warrior 3, and I also been playing Triangle Strategy. Shadow Warrior 3 is alright. I don't think it's as good as the other ones. It's really fucking short. Like, I beat it in a night. It's like 6 hours long, and I basically went, like, old fucker mode because I had the time and beat it in a day.
Makes sense.
It's good, but I don't recommend it for $40. And Triangle Strategy is really good. It's doing well in Japan. It's a shame about it being fucked here, though. Thanks for the marketing, by the way, Square.
I mean, it's kind of a combination.
It also came out at the same time as like Elden Ring, so.
It also, let's be honest, it has a pretty bad name.
Oh yeah, Triangle Strategy is a shit name, and I think that was on purpose.
I think it wasn't going to do well regardless because
no, like wasn't the whole thing they said? All right, we could make this Triangle Strategy until we come up with a better name, and then people were like, no, you should keep that name.
No, nobody said they should keep it.
No.
Probably Square higher ups like the Final Fantasy crew. They're like a bunch of aliens. Probably said they.
It can't be the Final Fantasy crew. If it was the Final Fantasy crew, it would be called the Isosceles Compendium or something. So
it's actually not doing that bad. It's number 3 on the eShop charts in the US.
In the US, okay.
Not,
I know in Japan.
In Japan, it's number 1, but I mean
nice.
number 3 in the US.
Considering everything, that's actually really surprising. Like,
for a strategy RPG with dated graphics, that's actually pretty good.
Especially, yeah. I was gonna say one that's not called Fire Emblem, but yeah, pretty much same thing.
They said that too for a super strategy RPG that isn't Fire Emblem. That is phenomenal.
Well, there you go.
Hey, that's cool.
Hey,
it's a good game. It's really good.
I have nothing against Triangle Strategy, I just haven't played it.
He lies, he absolutely hates it. No, I'm kidding.
I might just do it now just out of spite.
Oh, you mean like with 3 houses?
I don't even hate 3 houses, I just said I'm not playing it.
You decided you were going to play it after the fucking Smash thing. We still have that in recording.
Yeah, you said you weren't playing out of spite because I put Byleth in Smash and not...
Yeah, I said I'm not playing it out of spite. I never said I hated it out of spite.
Some random character that was absolutely not going to get in.
I said Scrimbo Bimbo didn't get in.
I mean, Scrimbo Bimbo would have had a better moveset than Byleth, I'm just saying.
That's not true.
Yeah, he would have.
No.
He would have Scrimboed and Bimboed.
Every fucking... I'm gonna say this right now. Every big Smash character like that people call for would have a shit moveset.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize Scrimbo Bimbo was a big character.
What about Geno?
You know, I'm honestly not sure if he's doing a bit or...
Yeah. That's how I live my life. You'll never know if I'm doing a bit. Because I'll never know if I'm doing a bit.
You'll never know if he's serious. Because he doesn't know if he's serious. He hasn't decided if he's serious or not.
It's like the fucking Muscular Beaver thing where it's like, an identity so secret, even I don't know what it is.
I like to think I'm like Oro from Street Fighter, in that sometimes I only have one arm and sometimes I only fight with one arm, and then he gives you, I don't know, shit just happens. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw rocks at you now, I guess, and hey, I've got a turtle, and hey, there's a plushy Blanca in there somewhere. That's just how I choose to live my life.
Live your life with Street Fighter 5. Be completely shit.
Yeah.
You'll
miss Street Fighter 5 when you have Street Fighter 6 instead.
Oh no, I just think they're both shit.
No, though, I think Reen would have had a good moveset in Smash.
It would have been fine.
Oh, not another anime sword fighter.
I mean, basically, he's not worth having for that reason, and also because, let's be honest, Trow's nowhere near big enough to get. Like, it was basically just because Sakurai is a huge fan of like SNK.
That Terry got in.
Terry got in. I don't think Titrine had a hope in hell.
I feel like what happened was.
I mean, he did because there was a Switch version of the game coming out, and it
Yeah, but it's
promotion.
like Trow's is niche even by JRPG standards.
You know what probably happened is Sakurai basically it was like okay, I want Terry, and they're like, okay, you can have Terry, but only if you put Minecraft Steve in. And he groaned and went, okay, fine, but Terry gets done first.
But yeah. Well, I'm glad Triangle Strategy. The Triangle Strategy is good. I might give it a look. Also, I guess speaking of, I did finish Elden Ring. I like it. I think it does have a few design issues. It's like it's a good solid 8 out of 10, maybe 7.5 on it. It's not like the best game ever that everyone says it is.
I mean, that happens with most Souls games where they're touted.
Is it better than Dark Souls?
Better than Dark Souls. Well, I'll say it's better than Dark Souls 1, yeah. I don't really, but everything's better than Dark Souls 2, and I have a whole strong opinion on Dark Souls 3. I don't think it's as good as Bloodborne, though. It's just the kind of thing where Elden Ring just kind of suffers from a lot of bosses either being gimmick bosses, or having an additional problem of like being expressly designed to just be unfair. Like, so I faced like the secret boss. He's the hardest one in the game, right?
Yeah.
And her shtick is that she's super fast, super aggressive. Her attacks are a bit weird. And also, every time she hits you, she shaves off life, and it's like, okay, fine, it's annoying, it's annoying, and it's what I would call an unfair mechanic, but whatever. But then she also has a move that's just functionally undodgeable and borderline unblockable.
Fun.
And the only way I could really beat the boss was just she didn't use that one move. Because, also, she's got 2 health bars.
The fun has been doubled.
It was just very much, this is not fun, and then I kind of think a lot of the whole end game of it kind of has similar issues where some bosses feel overtuned in that there's a lot of broken shit you can do, and it kind of made me feel a bit guilty or a bit bad because I was playing the game and doing stuff that I just felt like, yeah, I shouldn't be able to do this. This is easy mode, but then the game would just like ramp up its own levels of bullshit, so it was like an arms race of like, what's the more bullshit thing a player can do before the game pulls out some other random bullcrap of, oh, you took out the boss's health, well, now they're in their second phase. And, oh, you have to beat this one boss to get to this boss, but then if you die to the second boss, you have to repeat the first boss. And also the second boss just spends its entire time teleporting across this giant fucking arena, spamming ranged moves at you, so you have to waste all your time running to get it just so it can run away again. It's just, there's just a lot of stuff like that in the end game that I felt kind of let it down a bit.
Fair enough.
But no, good game overall.
My favorite thing about Elden Ring, as someone who hasn't played it, is the Ubisoft and Guerrilla game developers who have been trying about.
Oh yeah, I did see about that. What a ridiculous stance to take. That's like Whoopi Goldberg's takes on the Holocaust levels of, why would you say this? Like, you know this doesn't go well for you.
Why would this be
talked about the Whoopi thing before, I think.
Yeah, we did.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We joked about it a lot.
I was making sure, because I was like, I don't want to breeze past that if we didn't.
I mean, I'm not saying they're equivalent statements, far from it. One's clearly worse than the other. But it's more the case of, it's a statement you would say, and surely anyone in their reasonable mind would go, yeah, this is not going to end well. Not necessarily that I think, like, it's their opinion, they can have what they like, but, like, come on. It's a FromSoft Soulsborne game, and it's like reviewing well. What the fuck do you think? People are just going to go, oh yeah, Ubisoft, even though you've not made a game that people have really given a shit about in like 12 years. Yeah, we're going to totally like be enthralled by what you say.
You know what's really funny about it though? Is, so the first day was like simply that, and then they switched to saying Japanese games as a whole, as the mask slowly started slipping off. Because I've talked about, like especially like Western, like AAA media and stuff, like really hating Japanese games and shit. It's been fun watching the mask slip off and everyone go, hey, wait a minute, and then me just sitting here, as I've been saying this for the last 15 years, like, yeah, that's what I said, huh?
I mean, industry is what it is. Maybe Ubisoft's just mad, or maybe Ubisoft would be happier if FromSoft was owned by Microsoft.
Probably.
Give it time. But yeah, as I said, it's not even necessarily, like I said, that I think the statement is inherently. I mean, I think they were wrong in what they said, but
you want to take Mazinger or Nightingale?
Take Nightingale. You've used Mazinger a lot.
Fuck it, Mazinger.
Oh, okay then.
I didn't realize I already deployed it. Whoops. Anyway.
Also, the Batman came out. Did any of us see it?
No.
Okay. Well, the Batman sure did come out.
I just wasn't feeling it.
A friend of mine said it's really good, but I'm like, I'll watch it eventually.
Yeah, I've heard other things, but as I said, I've not seen it, and I don't have an intention to see it. Maybe I'll see it one day. Maybe I'll dip my toes into it, but like. I don't know. Maybe if it was a Batman that was a bit more fantastical, and if he had his eyes blanked out, I might give a shit. Which now I say that, now I remember that didn't we have an issue where we recorded these out of order? So my entire rant about the Bat.
It's actually in order. Remember?
Oh, okay.
The
That's gonna.
The save file just got switched. To that instead of seeing the wizards with E3.
Yeah.
I know it's a shame. The wizards are gone.
Well, they died as they lived. Whizzing.
Oh, I forgot this is the map where they forced me to do Scope Dog. Well, I didn't really do much of Scope Dog, because I think he sucks. So
Better just keep him in the background then and pray.
I just put him in the ship.
Doing it right.
Yes, let me invest all of my stuff into this one robot instead of just using a robot that was good outside the box.
But you have to set it up, and then you have him kill everyone, and then you're like, haha, my edgy main character is taking out all of these losers. Bottoms is the best.
Man. Could you imagine if they made like a Gundam shooter and it didn't have like any speed or like Z-axis stuff or space stuff, and it just looked like Call of Duty, but I guess they're Gundam skins now?
Yeah, that'd be weird, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't that be a ridiculous thing to do? So anyway, the state of play happened.
Oh, actually, real quick, though, with the Elden Ring thing, that was really funny. Just one last thing, because I made my comment about the what I said before about the issue of the industry and like the game wars and all that crap. I had the former fucking senior editor of Game Informer decide to dip his fucking toes in and go, oh, you mean the Game Awards where Sekiro won? And then I just looked up the awards that year for the games for the years, and I was like, the only Western entry was Outer Worlds, which we're not going to have win, and Sekiro was published by Activision.
But even then, Sekiro should.
Also, the Game Awards are stacked with members of the board. Why am I doing a better job being a journalist than you when I'm just a fucking random on the internet?
Also, Sekiro should have won that award that year anyway. Devil May Cry 5 should have.
There were so many games that came out that year that got snubbed.
So.
Like, I looked at that award year, and I'm like, wow, there were so many good games this year that just got kind of fucking ignored.
I'm surprised there isn't just straight up a category for best Japanese games so they could just do it away with it that way.
By the way, also, if you're curious, because I ended up seeing the games of the year, only 2 of them were not Western.
What 2 were they?
Sekiro and Zelda. And Sekiro,
Zelda doesn't count.
Sekiro, because I'm snarky, was published by Activision. So, I'm going to say I think probably the fact that Activision forged that one happened.
Probably.
Because all the others were Japanese. it was really a light year for Western games that year.
I will say that is that does, I guess, to circle back to Elden Ring real quick. It does bring to mind my actual main complaint of Elden Ring, which is there is so much of it is just straight up. This is Dark Souls, and you could just see where you could just read like the script from Dark Souls, and then they've just crossed out some words and written, it's not souls, they're runes.
R.R. Martin was very non-lazy writer.
I'm like 90% sure he had fuck all to do with the story. Like, there was just not, like, aside from the fact that Elden Ring has actual fantasy elements, which I don't think Martin has. I mean, I know he's done other books other than The Song of Ice and Fire, but like the fantasy elements are so downplayed in that, and it's his most famous and prolific work by far, that I don't think he would separate himself too much from that particular style. And just I don't know what his involvement was, but I kind of think it was just Miyazaki going, hey Martin, how does this name look? Yeah, that looks fine, whatever. Can I get paid? Sure you can. Can I slap your name on the credits for Prestige? Sure you can.
Honestly, probably.
Because, as I said, writers have, very specific styles because most writers are hacks.
What?
And by most, I mean all.
A great writer.
I mean,
He's the best writer who ever lived.
there's about 3 things wrong with that statement, and I don't really have...
He is so talented, and he always thinks 5 steps ahead.
To be fair, I don't think he's ever accused himself of that.
I'm making fun of the fans.
But yeah, there's just some...
So I'm making fun of them specifically, not even Nomura towards the end there.
And
Like, I started off making fun of Nomura, then it switched to making fun of the fans.
And it's like, I get it, you're not gonna separate separate yourself too far away from the Dark Souls stuff that obviously made the company big. Well, big in quotations. And, Elden Ring's probably cost a lot to make. So why not just make Dark Souls again, and then everyone could go, man, it sure is Dark Souls in here. But then a part of me's like, you should have just made this Mecha Souls, guys.
That's the next one.
Well, we'll see if that even does exist.
We will see, I suppose.
Because we've had it multiple times where we've seen similar levels of seeming development on a game, only for it to be soft cancelled and nobody to know anything. Kojima.
What? No.
Remember that time he cancelled thingy until it was Rising.
Yeah. All because he was so obsessed with his stupid, sword, cuts through everything thing, and then Platinum had to explain to him, no, Kojima, that doesn't work because of this. And then he's like, oh, okay.
You make the game.
You make it?
Fine.
That was the last time Kojima ever listened to anybody's input.
Well, I'm sure he listened to other people's input, I just don't think he cared.
Possibly. Oh, hi, Mr. Zone. How you doing?
But,
Are you doing good today, Mr. Zone?
yeah, I guess the main thing that I tried to segue into, but we got sidelined by other stuff, is the State of Play happened yesterday.
Yes. There's only one thing in that I care about, but I'll let you go.
Is it Exoprimal?
No.
Really? You don't care about Exoprimal?
I don't care about RE game number 7. RE engine game number 7.
But it's the closest we'll get to Dino Crisis.
Not Dino Crisis, though.
Yeah, but it's the closest we're gonna get.
I don't care.
I was gonna say, at least that would get...
I don't want discount knockoff on an engine I'm getting fucking tired of seeing.
Spent a lot of money making that engine. They're gonna grind. They're gonna get everything they can out of it. You know this.
Tired of it.
Would you rather than just go to Unreal 4?
Would I rather what?
Would you rather they go to Unreal?
Yeah, Unreal. It has my favorite bugs, or just sometimes glitches on games.
So I'll take RE Engine for a few more games.
Shouldn't be used on fucking Street Fighter.
I mean, I'll agree on that.
And it's just like all the games look samey because of it. So it's like,
But Exoprimal has fighting dinosaurs in power armor. It's basically the game we would make.
But we'd make it with a better art style.
I don't know about that. None of us are artists.
But we'd hire artists with a better art style.
I know about that. None of us are good at hiring artists.
Oh, I know I know a few artists. I could hire some. I know a number of artists, actually.
But yeah, I'm just saying that game looks interesting. I'm gonna obviously wait for more actual stuff because we basically just got a teaser, and even then that teaser was sure as a whole lot of dinosaurs here.
Holy fucking shit.
It's literally raining raptors.
Hallelujah.
You know what though? That game is worth existing just because if any of us play it, we can just blast the Extreme Dinosaurs theme.
You know, that is true. But the thing is, can you play as a dinosaur?
We don't know anything about
If
it
you can play
except
as
it's
a
a
dinosaur,
game.
Then, you know, it'll be a 10 out of 10. Like, if we can play as a dinosaur and then just start blaring that, then yes.
We don't, as I said, the only thing we know is that one trailer, which was, the concept alone was enough to make me go, I'm interested in this game. And then there were a bunch of other trailers where I was just, I'm not interested in this.
Yeah, there's only one thing that I was actually interested in.
But hey, we got to see more of I'm Gonna Kill Chaos, the game.
The game that
I still
everyone's
don't remember its
talking about
name.
in, like a week after it comes out.
Yes.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. They ruined that when they actually made him an actual character in the next trailer, and not just somebody who just exclusively talked in variants of how much he wants to kill Chaos.
Well, it doesn't help the character was really kind of dumb and lame, where it's like, I'm gonna put on my earbud and walk away. This isn't awkward at all, it's quirky. It's a quirk, my character quirk. I'm not written by aliens. Take me to your
Is
leader.
this game just Operation Raccoon City? Because it's a quote-unquote retelling of a classic game in this long-running Japanese franchise from a perspective of people who are very much doing things that are not part of what was in that original game.
Maybe?
Like, I mean, if FF1 had any characters other than like Garland and the Princess, would these guys be going off to kill the Warrior of Light?
Maybe?
Who I'm pretty sure Dissidia confirmed isn't even a person, he's just a doll?
That's bullshit.
It's Dissidia.
Yeah, that game's gonna be great because everyone's gonna talk about it immediately.
I'm sure it will be quote unquote fine.
I have a feeling it'll be exactly mediocre.
I'm trying to remember what else was announced.
I'll see if you can figure it out, and then I'll just say it. I'm gonna play a game. It's part of my fun. That's how I do it here.
Well, I know there was a couple Square titles that were very kind of. I don't even remember the name. I think one of them was like Valkyrie or something.
Yeah, they were made a new Valkyrie game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that Ghostline thing. That looked. It looked interesting, but once again, have to see an actual trailer.
Yeah.
Breakdown for me to be it. So I'm up for Japanese kind of horror, first person stuff. That seems kind of cool, but no. So what was the game you wanted to play?
Oh, it's just a Ninja Turtle collection.
Oh right, yeah, they did announce that. I even remember watching that and being like, "This is a weird thing to announce on this because none of the games you're showing have ever been on a Sony console before."
Well, I think it's gonna be on Switch and PC as well.
Yeah, I just felt such a weird thing for them to be all, yeah, here's the TMNT collection. And I'm like, have any of these games ever been on a PlayStation before? I'm kind of shocked we didn't get a God of War, whatever number we're on the trailer.
But yeah, that I'm actually that I want. Collection is pretty fucking good from what I saw that they have in it. Like, it's fairly complete. It has, you know, both versions of Real Time, but the arcade is the version. It has I saw a second of the original NES game, as well as the NES version of the arcade game and the arcade game.
And
It has all of the fighting versions of fighting games on the ride. I thought they would just get the one and call it a day.
you know what? If they do the original NES game, that's great for reviewers because it means that they can just steal from the AVGN's review all those years ago.
Finally, we can steal it again. But yeah, they had that. I got surprisingly.
It was alright.
I don't care about the NES one, but the Genesis one fighting game is pretty cool because I grew up with that one. And it has Hyperstone Heist, which is my favorite Turtles beat 'em up. It also has the Manhattan Project game on it, which was like an NES exclusive beat 'em up. But a lot of times it's called like Turtles 3. So yeah, that's the thing I'm looking forward to. A collection of old video games.
Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic about so Primal. It's in the wheelhouse of things that I like: dinosaurs, power armor, fighting dinosaurs with power armor. Like, if Lost Planet had basically just been had led more into fighting evil thermo space bugs with robots instead of fighting filthy humans with robots, sometimes that's it. That franchise would have made like $1 trillion. I'm just saying.
It probably didn't help that they got their scripts mixed up between them and Dead Space 3.
Which time?
For the third game of each one of them.
I mean, I know Lost Planet 3 decided to make the stupid decision of making it a prequel, and it's like, when has making things a prequel ever actually gone well through these kind of, you know, high concept sci-fi stuff? Oh, and I guess there was a trailer for... Oh, right, there was a trailer for the Obi-Wan, whatever it is.
I know that.
Yeah, I watched it, and I'm like, I'm not seeing a whole lot of Obi-Wan in this trailer for Obi-Wan.
I didn't watch
And it just
but
made
it
me-
is bad decision.
And it did just make me wonder, like, I mean, aside from that, obviously it didn't need to exist because, I mean, we were like, what happened to Obi-Wan between episodes 3 and 4? He lived on a planet for like 20 years. We know this.
But we gotta
Like,
know,
he
we
lived
gotta
in the
see it.
fucking, he lived in the fucking desert for 20 years and aged about 60.
Yeah, he hung out in the desert. That's
We
about
gotta
it.
see him, like, you know, hiring the strippers at the fucking pub. Come on.
He wouldn't
we gotta
hire
see him-
strippers.
We gotta see him.
He wouldn't
laser
hire
rock.
strippers. That's what Jedi mind tricks are for, Dad.
Oh, I don't like this. I like my joke better where we're just in pain for stuff.
What are they gonna do? It's not like they could kill him as a decoy and put someone else.
Yeah.
Because
They can't.
he
They can't kill him.
has to be around.
They can't have him like do anything. They can't have him like fight. They can't have him like fight Vader or something because Vader's like, yeah, I haven't seen you since you cut my legs off, you dick.
Hey, asshole.
I mean, he could theoretically have some random adventure that nobody had ever heard or talked about, but it's not like he can die or be in any serious danger because, well, we already know when he's gonna die, and it's not for another 20 years.
Yeah, he has to literally hang out in a desert doing fuck all for, for all this time. That's the. It's just one of the weirdest. But and I get it because you want to get Ewan McGregor back, but it's just such a weird stance, a weird idea to go off of because at least everyone else, you can say, well, yeah, sure, Boba Fett, we've resurrected. He's not dead this time, and now we can make a show about him or this rando Mandalorian or any number of Star Wars characters or the one writer's Mary Sue, Ahsoka or whatever. Oh no, I never watched Clone Wars.
She wasn't
Oh, I tried.
originally supposed
That's
to do
not.
that, but she
That's
became
not
it.
true. I tried to watch Clone Wars, and then after the third Jar Jar Binks Focus episode, I gave up. So no one can ever accuse. No, I've had people say, "Oh, it gets better." And it's like 3 fucking Jar Jar Binks Focus episodes in the first season. Fuck off. Like there is like, I always say that with like first seasons of shows, there's like an element, or like, you know, like the first few episodes, there's always an element of you have to be fair because it's gonna be weird. It needs stuff to, and it needs time to, you know, grow into it and get what actually makes the show good. But fucking come on, there are limits even to my infinite patience. 3 fucking Jar Jar Binks Focus episodes. That's my limit.
I think that's back when they still thought that, you know, maybe people would grow on. He would grow on people.
Like the first one, I was like,
when Lucas was around, and you're like, oh, Binks, what's that?
I mean, it's possible, but it's like the first one, I was like, yeah, okay, fine. Fine, I can't stop you from doing this. God, wish I could, but fine. You can have your episode where Jar Jar gets to be in the spotlight and is pretending that he's not the worst thing to happen to this franchise. But as I said, when you get to around the second and third one, it's like, this is beyond a joke. I'm not laughing anymore.
I was laughing.
But he's Jar Jar. You should find him endearing.
Nobody has ever found
the kiddies like Jar Jar.
No, they didn't.
This character is genius. It's going to be a market. This is marketing genius right here. He's going to be the next most popular character.
Hey, remember in like the pre-release for Star Trek Voyager when they said Neelix would be the breakout character?
Yes.
Wasn't that a hilarious misjudging of how that would go?
I mean, who was the breakout character in Voyager?
7 of 9.
Yeah, well, she wasn't there originally.
It was 7 of 9. Like,
yeah, it was 7. It was 7 of 9. There's a reason they added her to the show.
Yeah. Well, no, there were 2 reasons.
What was the other reason?
They're both the same reason. There's just 2 of them.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yes. I get it.
Hey, I wouldn't draw attention to it if that show didn't draw attention to it.
I thought there was like a actual major reason that they wanted her in besides, you know, we need more boobs on the show.
I'm gonna say no because, well, the people who were running Trek at the time.
I know they were going to kill off Harry Kim and replace him with her, and then for some reason he won Sexiest Man of the Year.
It was like
they were like, okay.
That, or it was like an award for like hottest upcoming actor or something.
Yeah, they were like,
and they were like, well, we want to keep him on lock so that he can't run off to another show if we want to bring him back. And so they kept him on lock, and they got
so they didn't want him to get flashed.
Yeah, basically. And so they kept him around and got rid of the character who admittedly was going to become an old lady in like a year anyway. I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe if you're making a show that you intend to last for like multiple years, you shouldn't make a character who literally has a lifespan of 10 years.
It is already like 2 years old when the show started.
2 years old and dating Neelix. Ugh. So, yeah, anyway, Star Trek's stupid. Moving on.
Yeah. No, don't you want to continue talking about
No. Star Trek wasn't always to... Oh, wait.
Yeah, go on, I'll wait.
Yeah, I talked to the guy with the motorcycle outside. How do you feeling?
Remember that time where we revealed that all of Spock's entire...
I was gonna say Star Trek wasn't stupid in the beginning, but one of the first episodes is Kirk freaking punching out a lizard foam suit man in the desert, so okay, yeah, I guess you got me there.
Hey, remember that time when we revealed that Spock's entire race has to come once every 8 years, or they literally die? And instead of this being like a reasonable thing, it's literally just because the Vulcans are so stupidly sexually repressed that they will just celibate themselves in extinction. if if they're not genetically programmed to fucking go crazy and have sex.
Who knew they were panda bears?
No. Panda bears don't become violently angry whenever they need to have sex. They
Yes.
just don't have sex.
I don't know. They might.
Only with Homer Simpson.
To be fair, don't most people get violently angry at Homer Simpson?
Oh, I meant have sex with Homer Simpson. Do you remember that was like
No!
one of the turning... Yeah, there's one of the turning points of The Simpsons where Homer gets raped by a panda.
No, I don't remember this!
Oh, you sweet summer child. Man, there's a whole... Man, we've been talking about a lot of sexual abuse in this episode.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
There's sexual abuse against fat American men as well. Weird. Usually they're the main culprits.
Not today.
That's equality for you.
I don't...
But yeah, no, that was widely regarded as like maybe one of the worst moments in The Simpsons, so there you go.
Cool, I killed one of the wise men. There's only 3 more.
I thought there was only meant to be 3 wise men, not 4.
Well, now there's... There was 4.
But yeah, I don't know. That, as I said, there's not a whole lot to say about things like the Obi-Wan trailer because it doesn't really say anything. It's just,
Boy, that is
yep,
valid.
there sure is an Obi-Wan movie or TV show. I'm not sure which.
Saying yes, we're really doing this.
We're that desperate.
This is what you've made us
Oh.
become.
This is all of you fucking
You
tricks.
you couldn't just like the sequel trilogy, could you? You had to make us pull this bit.
We didn't want to do it, but you made us do it!
We didn't spend several $1 billion acquiring LucasArts just for you to decide you don't like Star Wars anymore. Come on.
You people were the chosen one. You were meant to bring balance to the Star Wars, not
You were
destroy it.
You were meant to bring money to Disney, not make it go bankrupt.
You were meant to bring us money!
女だからって甘く見てると怪我するわよ
Haven't you seen? You've left us destitute. Star Wars isn't making any money. It's like you have done that yourself.
Star Wars isn't making us any money. The theme parks weren't making us money for a while because they were closed. Now we can't get any money out of the Russians.
This guy's sick us. Sicken me!
エメロード姫が愛
What are we supposed to do? How are we going to keep our copyright laws going?
You bastards! You ruined me! I'll kill you! I'll kill you all until
Man.
you're dead!
Well, they're probably thinking, well, when World War III starts, they can just make wartime propaganda films like they did in the second one.
Probably.
プライドが高すぎる男
I mean, they had no choice.
I mean, Disney probably had like some kind of like pound fallout, so. Would you really?
Well, no,
Yeah.
they made propaganda films of World War II
No, I know,
because
I know,
otherwise
I know,
their
I
studio
know, I know, but I was making a fucking joke about
受け取りました
their studio was going to be reconverted into a tank factory, and like literally the soldiers were like showing up on the front gates to take it over, and Walt went outside and he was like, look. He's like, if you let me keep the studio and not turn it into a jet factory or something, I'll make propaganda films for you for free and war training films. And they were like, oh, okay. And he also made Bambi during that time.
As you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was like, oh yeah, and I guess we'll make another movie while we're at it.
You know, I thought about
Wow.
having Mr. Stone lose to Harlock, but I think it's funny just to have him get beat up by everybody else. Like, no, you don't get to have your fancy fight.
Ahab doesn't get his whale this time.
You don't get to have you die by the hand of your whale. You get to die by a fucking 14-year-old in a robot.
Fun fact, whales do kind of have hands.
Huh.
The bones in their flippers look suspiciously like hands.
Do they have sex for fun? Or is
Whales
that dolphins?
It's mostly dolphins, yeah, because they're psychopaths
Yeah, dolphins are psychopaths.
and monsters, and orcas especially are monsters.
Yeah. Fuck them, honestly. But don't get fucked by them.
Yeah. I don't condone the slaughter of helpless animals, but I'm not going to not condone the
Listen, if we
slaughter of
don't get rid
helpless
of them,
animals.
they'll get rid of us. I've seen The Simpsons.
Nuke the whales.
I mean, I did feel a bit bad because there was a story the other day over here about a girl who went on her sort of gap year trip to Zambia, and she went swimming in a river and she was bit by a crocodile. And it's like, and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to say I wish it on her. I hope she has a fantastic. I hope she recovers and can come to terms with something like that. But I'm also just thinking, oh no, you go swimming in a place where you know there's crocodiles in the water. I wouldn't go swim. Just kind of bring it on yourself.
Yeah.
Fucking crocodiles are crazy, man.
Crocodiles are not going to bite me because I'm special.
Problem is, if they
they're
bite-
biting me.
You know the death roll they do? Do you know why they do it?
No.
Because they're evil.
It's because it's because their teeth and jaws are basically built just to clamp down, so they don't actually have the capacity to rip and tear. So they do it to basically force them to serrate through, force their jaws to serrate through flesh.
Huh.
It's like how if a shark bites down, if you ever see sharks, so when they bite, they shake their heads, and that's the same kind of feel.
Oh yeah, the thrashing.
Deal. They're built more to grasp than to actually tear.
That's why a lot of times sharks will bite at things if they don't know what it is. It's how they feel things. They feel what else something is.
No, when you don't have hands, your senses are kind of limited to taste, sight, and smell, and their sight's not amazing.
Also, sometimes if they
And-
want to point it with their mouths, they want to grab onto something and then slap it with their tail into another thing.
Sharks are cool. Dolphins suck though.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is that 9 times that.
Sharks, when they hurt you, don't actually mean it. Dolphins, they do.
Well, a vast majority of shark-related deaths are caused not by devouring, but by just simply blood loss and shock.
Yeah.
Because it's more the fact that when they hit you so hard that the initial hit will probably kill you, or severely damage you. And it's just then they're like, oh, this isn't what I wanted. Well, I'm going home.
Sorry.
And of course, but then you're not really going home because you just had a chunk of flesh taken out of you.
Dolphins, however,
And you'll
they
drift
are-
home eventually.
No. Oh
Dolphins-
no, there's lots of other
dolphins do
fish in the
like
sea that are actually sinister.
like dolphins.
Yeah. Well, they're not fish.
I don't care. I'll
They're
insult
disgusting mammals.
them. I'll insult them. I'll make them angry by calling them fish.
No, it's more of an insult to fish.
Well, you're right. I'm sorry, fish. Fish are a friend.
Do you know what? You know what though? Well, I changed my mind. Whales are cool because whales have narwhals.
It's true.
And how do you make an animal cool? You stick a horn on it.
And you know what also too about narwhals is that they can beat Cthulhu in a fight.
I was going to say, is this just going to be about them swimming in the ocean causing a commotion?
Yes.
How did I know?
Pretty big is pretty white. How could it not?
And
me?
And you know what? Manatees are okay because it's just funny to say, man, those sailors were fucking desperate if they looked at that and thought, oh, that's a mermaid.
You know you're right.
And it's like, I get it, times are tough back then, but
You just don't know what it's like just being on the sea for months at a time.
when your only company
women.
is a whole bunch of sweaty men who are also just as amorous and missing the fairer sex as you. I mean, I'm sure
Yes.
some people very much enjoyed that.
Sometimes the whole is a whole.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that is basically the thing of, well, we're not entire. Well, it might not be a pretty mermaid, but I'll take anything.
Just like, yeah, you know, I've had worse. As the man
I
is
mean,
like,
it would have been what, like 14th century, like 14th, 15th century. They probably would have had worse.
you know, the man is just like, excuse me, what? What are you doing?
At least it's not like their own cousins
You know, that's true.
or sisters.
You know, that's true.
Oh,
Oh, cool. We can kill another one of the wise men. This fight's actually going pretty quick.
Is he so wise?
they don't
Man.
seem that wise.
Well, Zone died before he could even get to Arcadia. It's like he just got fucking wall blocked and punched by everybody.
He had it coming.
He did actually.
Did he though?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's kind of an asshole.
yeah. Honestly, fuck Zone. Yes, he deserves.
He just
to
doesn't.
die.
He just doesn't like Harlock going around and thumbing his nose at authority.
Paul doesn't even do anything. He just like hangs out and says, "I'm a pirate. Do you rape and/or pillage?" Yeah, not really.
Would you? No.
It's like it's like in One Piece. Just standing there saying, "I'm a pirate and I don't respect the government in control," is enough to like, we must kill them with extreme prejudice.
I mean, I thought in One Piece it was just you ate a fruit and then you're like, well, not a whole lot else I could do in my life now. I can't swim, so I'm gonna go hang out on the ocean. Wait.
Wait, hold on. I made a mistake. It's two. Fuck. Maybe I should be hanging on the ocean. It's what a dumb person would say.
Man.
I can't believe
But yeah,
I can just have Master Agent Alan be deployed at all times.
Not all times, only when it's funny.
No, that's all times. Oh, funny. When I have them, there's never a time where I won't deploy them.
Fair enough.
Oh wait, no, it was Umi who killed Zone. I think if it was Master Agent, I'd at least have some kind of you know, something like that. Feel like something at least. But getting defeated by Umi, just like
Enjoy it while you can, because you won't be seeing Domon again for a very long time.
I know.
Because Japan doesn't like G Gundam.
I know. Because they have bad taste.
Yep. Yeah, but they like Domain's voice actor.
They do, yeah. They're just like, Gundam's not supposed to be. We have Super Robot shows for that.
And then they don't make Super
Gundam is supposed to be about fighting filthy space noids.
Or sometimes they are the Space Noids.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's because Domain is a space noid. They've stunned him into silence with that revelation.
I'm like, wait, was he?
I mean, he is, but I mean, he's not from Neo Mexico.
Man. Where's the tequila
Actually-
gun that
actually-
model kit?
Seriously, give me-
What did Neo Japan even look like? I forget.
Probably just like a
It's
giant
like-
Tokyo Tower.
It was just like Japan.
I mean, like Neo Mexico looked like a giant
I mean,
sombrero.
like,
No, wait, I know
Neo
what it is.
Neo America.
I know what it
Neo
looks
America
like.
looked like giant New
no,
York
I'm
Neo
City.
telling
Japan.
It was
Neo
literally-
Japan looks like a giant pair of underwear.
No, it was literally just the actual landmass of Japan.
Of course it is.
That's what I said.
Because they
it was
don't
like
have any
Japan.
funny stereotypes about them.
No.
Yeah, not ones that are going to admit it. I mean, they're hardly going to make Neo Japan just like a great big old war crime, are they?
Woo.
No, they won't.
That escalated quickly.
Just like their war crimes.
Ooh.
Nah. Look, just forget about it, and in a couple of decades, everyone who will have known about it will be dead.
Well, it's fine. It's just because they can just. It's fine because everyone was like, man, they can't believe those. China was like, man, they can't believe those horrible things they did to our people. What disgusting fuckers. Anyway, let's go do some horrible things to our own people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, China.
Oh. That's it. I think the map's over.
Oh, we did it.
Whee!
We got through all of this without saying about the quote-unquote special military
Oh, wait,
operations
hold
that's
on.
definitely... Oh.
Wendy's idiot brother just showed up. This might not be over.
Damn it,
yet.
Wendy! Damn it, idiot brother!
It's phase 1 of Time of Happiness.
Oh, God, I hate that character so much.
Everyone hates him. Everyone who's not like his thrall hates him.
No, I hate how the story has like all of these people like worshipping the ground of this obvious lunatic, and like nobody seems to like
Problem is, it kind of says it's unrealistic. So that's literally how cults work.
Literally, Trump exists.
No, I mean like actual,
Oh, no,
just
no,
flat out cult
yeah,
leaders.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to make a joke. But
It's like, I think it's actually called the cult of personality syndrome or something.
yes.
yeah, but I wouldn't fall for that, and therefore nobody else should either.
That's
Well-
the funny thing. Is it doesn't have so it's the kind of funny thing in that the psychology of cults is it doesn't. It's not as if these people just kind of rock up and are immediately like. So anyway, here's my grand plan. I'm gonna have you murder a bunch of children. We're just gonna have like this massive sex like
It goes into that later.
pile. It like just starts off with like people being semi-amicable / approachable / charismatic, and then they talk and they talk and then they talk and they talk and they talk, and as people become like get to know them more, like little things happen, but then they excuse it because that's just them being them, or they're on a bad day, and etc. And then the more you kind of get brought, and it's kind of like a fallacy in the sense that the more people kind of get brought in and stay with these people with their grand ideas that they appreciate, the more they keep forgiving and forgetting, until it just kind of reaches this point of, well, now you're just all in, and you're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not stuck. You just say, "This is stupid. I'm gonna leave."
That means probably next time we record that'll be.
We need more anime antagonists to just be like, you know what? This is a terrible idea. I'm gonna quit. As opposed to like, I've destroyed several cities and burned lots of babies, but I just can't admit that I've made a bad choice a year ago, so I'm gonna go all in till I die. Yeah.
Time to destroy the dog pound.
We need more characters to just be like, this is dumb. I'm not gonna do this.
But
Even though all of my plans have failed and keep failing, I'm just gonna keep doing it.
I'm like, I'm like, but I'll get him this time.
It's very much Sentai villain kind of methodology of, okay, growing the villain to titanic proportions so they can summon their robot didn't help this time. But, next time for sure I've got him.
yeah. I do like though when we'll be dealing with Mr. Paul next time. One of my favorite things with him is that there's one when he decides that he loves Van because Van is such an idiot. There's one other character that he has that switch on. It's fucking Hikaru from Rare. She's the only other one that he just keeps calling an idiot. It's great.
There's also the fact that Wendy's idiot brother goes from like being a loving brother who protects Wendy to being willing to kill her in the name of this lunatic old man he had only met like 3 weeks prior. Like even that seems like a bit like why are you worshiping the guy you just met?
I interpret it as he just noticed that the woman beside him has tits full on display.
True.
And he's like, well, I could go back to my annoying kid sister, or I could bury my face in those things.
Kid sister, titties,
Not because even after he thinks that what's her name is dead, he's still like, but the claw.
Well, at that point, he's lost. At that point, it's the Sug fallacy. You know, he's put so much into this. He's now got to just stick with it.
I have lost the titties, but I won't lose the war.
You robbed the titties from me, and now I will rob you of life.
Oh no, I'm dead.
Don't fuck my sister, but I'm a virgin. Pah, loser.
He says, dying, forgetting that he also is a virgin.
Well, I don't know about that. Fasalina is literally a whore,
True.
or at very least a stripper. I'm fairly certain her backstory is whore, though. A goddamn hooer.
Oh look, there's the Wiseman computer that they just walk up and shoot after they talk to it for a bit, and Wiseman is gone forever.
Yeah, that whole story arc doesn't really work out very well, post game.
Like, come on, you'll join us, right?
I mean, because
No.
isn't it all just literally? Well, it's because all this stuff is basically just talking and stuff, which is more interesting in shows, less interesting in actual video games.
Well, there's also the fact that in the show, like the entire last couple episodes, has Kiriko actually like acting like he's actually going to side with the thing, to the point where he gets an evil scope dog and like his own army to lead, and then it's like, and the whole thing is led up to him just being like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I was just tricking you so I could get close enough to destroy you. But instead, in the games, it's usually just like, join me, Kiriko, and Kiriko's like, no, and then just shuts it off.
And then it's surprise.
They cut out the whole, story arc where he pretends to serve him for a while.
And then yeah, pretend like it's surprise. And then it's like a surprise, like, I can't believe you do this. To me, I've only
Can't
ever
believe
been
you've done this.
I don't know. Vodums only works if they do the actual whole story. When it's just like, it's just Kiriko and that one guy, and everything already happened.
Oh, one of them is good.
It's no good.
I like one of them. It definitely suffers in these games. Because what makes it work doesn't.
Well, it's just the kind of thing where it's
It works better in the.
A lot more useful in the Z series because the root splits it's usually on is like low powered stuff. So you actually have reason to use it, whereas here it's just like, here's Vodums, and also, Shingetter's there, so.
You could go on the roof and use the bottom, or you can go on the roof and use the Gunbuster.
Gunbuster's not in that game though.
What's up?
Gunbuster's not in Z,
No, I just mean
It is, but not until the very end.
is it? I thought Gunbuster wasn't in Z.
No, it doesn't show up until Z3, whereas Vodums was in Z2.
I mean, yeah.
I
So
meant
your
this- I
other
meant
choice,
this
but
game.
what if the route?
I was talking about this game though.
Yeah, but Dan, what if the route split was one route is Vodums and the other route is Kogias?
Bottoms, 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 bottoms.
Yeah,
bottoms,
exactly.
bottoms.
Exactly.
Like, come on, if you take
Exactly.
Cross Ange, it'd be like, well, Cross Ange has the funny cringe. And the units are, well, one of the units is good.
I mean, I can't be honest. It would take.
Also, I think Vodums goes with Gundam Wing half the time, so.
I think it'd be very difficult.
TV
to find,
Gundam Wing too, and not Endless Walls.
I think it'd be very difficult to find a show that would compete with like Cross Ange in terms of, well, I want to see how this could. So anytime Embryo's on screen, I'm happy.
It's like, what's Embryo gonna do this time?
Yeah, basically.
Sometimes we'll do V, not immediately, for like a long time away, just so we can giggle at Embryo. But I don't want to do that for a long time. I want to play some action games. After doing this for like
Good old Embryo.
God knows how long.
Too long.
Too long.
Whenever Embryo's not on screen, people should be saying, "Where's
Where's
Embryo?
Embryo?"
I want to laugh at him."
Actually, you know, that reminds me. 'Cause I've noticed it more. One of the funnier things about Persona 4 being on PC with the golden version is that since there's a lot of people who didn't play the original, there's a lot more people like Mary nowadays versus, you know, back when it first dropped and everyone was making fun of her for being Poochie, which she is.
Yeah, well.
Somebody
Luckily,
did a
Persona
thing
4
where-
is dead now. So
It's been out for ages, so I guess technically it's dead.
no, but I mean, like, why would they ever touch Persona 4 again when they could milk Persona 5?
When they want to
Got at least 2 more re-releases of Persona 5 in us before we have to worry about Persona 6.
Yeah, I don't know. I think by the dancing game they were like, I think we're done with this. There's not much more we can do.
Like, I think probably the next Persona 5 thing will be a fighting game where they bring in characters from 4 and 3.
They're like, man, I wish we had ended 3 differently if we'd known we were going to be able to milk these things.
Yeah, it is the big problem with 3. In that, you know, you can't just have wacky adventures with protagonists because he's dead.
Yeah, and the whole, and also the concept of their powers is gone.
Yeah, and also they're all horribly depressed after the
And,
fact.
yeah, and they're horribly depressed and broken, and you know, it's not like, oh, wacky adventures.
Yeah, they don't have an Austin Powers. Yeah, they don't have the Austin Powers moment of, oh no, our friend is dead. Wait a minute, that means we're single again. And then they'll just have yeah.
I want to watch that movie again.
I feel like I was the only one at the time who was just like annoyed by that whole thing.
I was annoyed. They got rid of 90s Liz Hurley for that gag. It's definitely not worth.
Oh, I was, because everyone was like, well, everyone's like, it's a joke about how, you know, every James Bond movie acts like the previous movie didn't happen, and I was like, yeah, but I like continuity. I didn't like that.
I thought it was funny.
And they're like, no, you're just taking it too seriously. It's a joke,
you-
and I'm like, but I want to take it seriously. I take movies seriously.
Look,
That's my thing.
Alright, I'm gonna say this. If you want to experience Austin Powers, the best way to do that is to just watch those Austin Powers Mass Effect edits. It literally makes both series significantly better.
I mean, I'm not surprised, but yeah, I know it's just because when Austin Powers came out, everyone thought it was like the most amazing thing because I don't know, and I was just like, okay.
I mean,
I was like, it doesn't make any sense. When was she switched to be a robot? And he's like, no, you're thinking about it too hard. Just laugh at the jokes. I'm like, no, I want to think about this. I like to think about movies.
I don't know. The thing with Austin Powers for me is it's always kind of trying to out ridiculous Bond. It just doesn't kind of work in a sense because it's like, oh yeah, we have the character called A Lot of Vagina. What's she a joke about? Pussy galore. And it's like, well, I mean, your joke's not nearly as good as what it's actually meant to be riffing off of. So not a whole lot of stuff is better than Pussy galore. I'm just saying. Even Bond is like, what the fuck? I must be dreaming. Which is what
Yeah.
you'll be.
Oh.
I should rewatch. I should actually watch No Time to Die since I do technically own it. I just ironically had no time to watch.
Nap's all over and everything, so I guess it's time to leave now.
Let's be honest, we should have left when we started talking about Harvey Weinstein having sexual relations with Kevin Smith, but we still stayed.
It's time to
Yeah, I
leave.
did. If I'd known you were recording, then I wouldn't have said that.
You should know
That's
better.
precisely
If I say I'm starting the recording, that's when you stop saying stuff like that.
I didn't hear you say you started recording. I thought we were just doing
I
the
said
usual
it
nonsense
loud.
before we record.
Oh, I knew he was recording. I just did it anyway.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
no.
I didn't know. I was just
Train
like,
knows. Because Train knows if he says something weird enough, I'll leave it in because I think it's funny. Time to leave.